In video 740, we went through how to manually combine 3 separate scripts into one large script that can be controlled by timecode. And then we created 3 timecode tracks used to control segments of that script. And that was a fairly lengthy video, and it was all done manually by manipulating CSV files within spreadsheet applications and adjusting audio and adding timecode with Audacity. In this video, we're going to walk through some shortcuts that will achieve the same end result. Okay, from video 435, and these are the same files that we used in video 740, we had 3 scripts used in our hypothetical big game scenario, and we had 3 corresponding soundtracks. And what we want to do here is combine all of these scripts into a single file that can be controlled by timecode, and then we're going to add timecode track to each one of the songs. For script 1 and song 1, that's going to start at the beginning of the timecode. We'll leave that set to 0. For script 2 and song 2, we're going to have these start at the 5-minute mark on the corresponding timecode track. And for script 3 and song 3, these will start at the corresponding 10-minute mark on the timecode track. So the first thing we're going to do is work on the audio tracks, and we're going to use this LTC audio mixer. The first thing it says is select how you want to approach the SMPTE generation and then press open wave file. Now I've gone ahead and taken these 3 songs that we had as MP3 from video 435, and I have created wave versions of those for this reason. And my convention is to always use timecode on the right channel, so I'm going to select merge stereo to mono and add SMPTE as the right channel. Now we're going to start with song 1, so we're not going to add any offset. So we're going to open wave file. We'll go to our 435 folder, big game. And here's our wave files here, and we're going to select song 1. And we're going to hit open. And it says done. And it's placed that file here in the same folder as the SMPTE wave generator. Now my convention here, I'm just going to put an R on here so that I know that the SMPTE timecode is on the right channel. Now what we're going to do is we're going to go to song 2. Now song 2 starts at the 5-minute mark on the timecode track. So we're going to type 5 here. This is hours, minutes, and seconds. We're going to open our wave file, and this time we're going to select song 2. And we're going to hit OK. That has added a timecode track on the right channel starting at the 5-minute mark rather than at the 0 mark. Now we're going to do the same thing here, but we're going to do this for song 3, and that's going to be at the 10-minute mark. We're going to hit open. And so we have all 3 of our songs here with the SMPTE LTC timecode on the right channel. And now I'm going to move those files into this folder we have for this video, video 741. This has generated the same audio files that we did in 740 that we did manually with Audacity. So you can see this is a much quicker approach. Now we're going to work on the script, and for that we're going to go to Pyroignition control. Okay, in video 302 we went through some of the details on how to load a CSV file into Pyroignition control, and I'll add a link to that in the description of this video. So I might skip a couple of the steps, and if it doesn't make sense, go back and take a look at video 302. Okay, what we're going to do first is go to Windows Ignition System, and we'll have this file here that opens up. We're going to import all 3 of the scripts from video 435, the big game. So we have that folder for our big game in video 435, and we have script 1, 2, and 3. Now we're going to import script 1 here and hit open. And when it does that, it wants us to create a Pyroignition control project name, or Pyroignition control script. And we're going to call this one 741, the big game quick method. And we're going to save that under another folder here for video 741. We get a message that says Pyroignition control script saved. We're going to hit OK. Now what we do is we go import the project. So project import, and we have the big game quick method Pyroignition control file. We'll hit open. Now this had only the first script, and that still is going to start at the 0-second mark on the timecode track. So we're going to leave that at 0. Now what we're going to do is go through that same process for script 2 and script 3. So we're going to go Windows, Ignition System. We're going to then go to Import fireTEK File Format, select script 2. Now it's asking us to give this one a Pyroignition control script name, and we're going to go back to our 741 video. And for right now, what I'm going to do is just call this script 2 and hit save. We get an acknowledgement that Pyroignition control script was saved. We can close this here. We can then import that project on top of the project that we already have open. So I'm going to select that script 2 Pyroignition control file and hit open. Now this one here, we want this to start on the 5-minute mark. So this here in Pyroignition control is minutes, seconds, milliseconds. So we're going to set this at 5 minutes and hit set. And what you can see here is we've got a group of events here that start right at 0 and a group of events here that start out near 5 minutes. And we can see that here as well. And again, remember these scripts are just like 20-30 seconds long. So we have an event that ends at 31 seconds, and then the next event is 5 minutes and 1 second. So now we're going to do the same thing for script 3. We're going to import the fireTEK file format. Go back to our 435 video. Select script 3. We're going to save this under our 471 file. We're going to call this one script 3. We got the acknowledgement again that it's saved. Then we're going to import that project, and we're going to select script 3. Now this time we're going to give it a 10-minute offset for script 3. Now we've loaded into Pyroignition control all 3 scripts, script 1 at the 0-second mark, script 2 at the 5-minute mark, and script 3 at the 10-minute mark. And we can double check that here as well. We've got 5 minutes and 33 seconds, and then the next event is at 10 minutes and 1 second. So we'll go ahead and save this project here. And we'll keep this as 741, the big game quick method. And now what we can do is export this combined fireTEK script. So if we go to Ignition System, we can then export the fireTEK file format, and we'll call this 741 the big game quick method. And that export was successful. So in our 741 file now, we've got 3 songs with the SMPTE LTC timecode on the right channel, and we have a CSV file If we were to open this up, and then I like to just sort this by time, we can see we've got, in chronological order, events going out to 31 seconds, and then 301 seconds, so this is the 5-minute mark. And then we've got a jump to 600 seconds, or 601 seconds, and this is the 10-minute mark. So this creates the same CSV file that we created manually in the spreadsheets in Video 740. And we can take this CSV file here and load this into the modules, just like we did in Video 740. And then this time we're going to play these 3 SMPTE timecode wave files and show that we're going to get the same results. And as you can see, this is a much quicker way to combine multiple scripts into a timecode controlled show. One thing I want to point out here before we go to the demo with the modules is that right now in Pyroignition control, you see there's no audio loaded. We're trusting that we've set the timecode tracks on the audio files correctly with the LTC wave generator. And obviously we can do a check to make sure we've done that right before a show. If we wanted to add the audio here into Pyroignition control, at least to my knowledge, there's no way of offsetting various audio files. So we'd have to use Audacity, like I showed in Video 740, to combine all 3 songs segmented by 5-minute increments. And that would look something like this here. Alright, now I'll go set the cameras up for the demonstration. Okay, I loaded the Big Game Quick Method CSV file, or our script, from the computer onto this Android device with the USB drive. And I also have our 3 songs here with the SMPTE timecode, or the LTC timecode, on the right side. We've got song 1, song 2, and song 3. Now right now I have FT control connected to the modules, and I'm loading the script into the FT control. And I'll erase the previous script from Video 740 off the modules, and that's been erased. And now I will load this new script. Okay, that script now has been loaded into the modules. Again, it should be the identical script. It's just a matter of the method that we combined it with, either manually with the spreadsheet applications or by loading it and offsetting each file in Pyroignition control. So now with that loaded, I'm going to go ahead and just exit from FT control application. And I'm going to go ahead and unplug this. So the Android device is not connected. We've got the folder open for this quick approach for the hypothetical big game scenario. We have the modules in test. This module here again is the master. We've got the audio output from the Kindle connected with this splitter here. We've got the white or left channel going to the speaker. We've got the red or right channel going to the timecode input on the master module. And we're in test here, so we can do a sound check. We can see we've got timecode being recognized on the module, and we do the sound check. Okay. So now we can go ahead and do a long hold of the master module. We'll put this into ARM. We're in ARM. We're in ARMed here. Again, we're not controlling this with FT control application. The Android device is just simply a media player or an audio device. So we'll go ahead here and we'll do song 1. It's been recognized. The time code has started. I can see the rails going off, the LEDs on the rails. Again, I can go ahead and jump right to song 2 if I needed to. It's jumped to 5 minutes here and started. The song is playing, the scripts are going off. You can see that by the LEDs on the rail. Just like before, I can pause this and everything pauses. And again, I could jump to song 3. And it's gone to the 10-minute mark. And that script started. And I can see the LEDs going off on the rails for script 3. So there you go. Just like we did in video 740, we can combine multiple scripts and soundtracks and control everything with timecode, which allows you to pause and jump around in the script. And by use of the tools in the Pyroignition control and a SMPTE waveform generator, there's a quicker approach to what we used in video 740. I hope you find these videos useful. Please leave some comments below the description. Share any insights that you might have. Let me know if there's any other videos that you would find interesting. And don't forget to subscribe. Thanks.